I was in severe pain. I mean, anyone who has known pancreas pain, it is awful. I've given birth to 2 children, and this pancreas pain was far worse than being in labour. So I had an out-of-hours GP come to the house. He thought it might be pancreatitis, so he was closer than anybody else had been, and told to go back to the GP the next day. He gave me a really nice morphine injection, which helped. Then the GP discussed my pain on the phone to the surgical team at the A&E in my local hospital. They decided that my pain was not great enough for me to be admitted to hospital. So I was then prescribed cocotamol. So we're seeing this pattern. Analgesics are going up, pain's going up. So I was fit and healthy, non-smoker, not overweight, no family history. And one key thing for anyone who is in primary care, I very rarely visited the GP for myself, took the kids, but not for myself. You know, it was something that we teach at Pancreatic Cancer Action is in some of our GP educational modules, is to look at the rare attendee who's suddenly turning up not only once a week, but maybe twice or more frequently a week. This is the trend in 5-year cancer survival in the UK from 1971 to 2020. So what we see is an already relatively high 5-year survival for melanoma, which is right at the top. The next one down is breast cancer, and then you've got prostate cancer. Those are the sort of 3 biggies, as it were. And those are the ones that have had an awful lot of investment. Down the bottom, unfortunately, the very last little line on the graph, you can see for decades there has been very, very little movement, but there has been some improvement, but you can see that it's very, very slow. And we need this to change. And I think before we get a wonder drug, which will take years of development, we need to do what we can using today's technology in order to get people diagnosed sooner so that they do have that chance of potentially curative surgery. We need more investment in research at EU level. We have lagged behind other cancers, and that's borne out not just by the survival stats, but by looking at the percentage of funding for pancreatic cancer. We need more public awareness. PCE is doing a really great job in doing that. We need primary care educational programs, what to look out for in terms of symptoms like new onset diabetes not associated with weight gain. And also my bugbear, the nihilism. There are some clinicians that write off patients, and the public think that it's a death sentence and that nothing can be done. And this is why I think historically we've struggled to get the funding that we need.